Victoria. Thank you. It's been a delight to have you with us, and always a delight to have your company here on The Chase Australia. See you next time.
Tonight, business owners call for financial help.
A discreet new way to report domestic violence.
A vintage tribute for Anzac Day.
And university graduates go online.
Across the Darling Downs and beyond, this is 7 News with Brough and Katie Toney.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
Our local small business owners are pleading for help, with the coronavirus crisis close to bringing some to their knees. Now, despite another day of 0 cases statewide, our shop owners fear time is running out.
Adam Sack is feeling desperate as his Glenvale convenience store continues to take a hit.
We're down approximately about 70% in turnover in our business just with this pandemic alone.
And he's not the only one.
I've probably lost about 50% of my business.
After reducing staff hours significantly, it's now up to Adam and his wife to run the business. The JobKeeper subsidy is not due to be paid to employers until the first week of May, but Adam says he's running out of time.
They expect us to put our staff back on and start paying our staff with what? With what? We've already blown through all of our savings. We're in the position where we're not just looking at closing down, we're looking at bankruptcy.
At the weekend, a sign appeared on Greenwattle Street advising it would be closed from today. Adam says the loss of traffic could cripple them.
Now to know that council don't even know about it, the approvals, I don't even know if they're in place.
Today, council confirmed a closure hasn't yet been authorised, and just as the media arrived, the contractors were told to remove it from the roadside.
This has been done without the consent of council. We're disappointed in that, and we're taking action right as we speak.
They've been up against the wall for some time now with road closures, COVID-19, and now to learn of this road closure in this way is really disappointing.
Shop owners aren't the only ones losing money. Tisby says exorbitant freight costs are keeping around 100 tonnes of local products grounded each week.
We're having to charter flights and we're seeing freight costs be up to 300 times more expensive than they were prior to the COVID-19 and reduction in passenger flights.
And businesses' bottom lines are taking a hit.
Right now, it is about maintaining relationships. They are bleeding money in doing that.
An international freight subsidy is expected to be announced by the federal government tomorrow, and many are holding on to hope Wellcamp Airport will receive a piece of the pie. Lauren Reddy-X, 7 News.
A new program is working to fast-track some of Queensland's most cutting-edge firefighting technology to avoid a repeat of last year's devastating bushfire season. Some of the designs could be considered game changers for emergency services.
Fighting fires from afar could become the way of the future with the help of artificial intelligence. This all-terrain robot is equipped to handle a range of emergencies, allowing firefighters to keep a safe distance when extinguishing the blaze.
We've innovated the firefighting equipment onto that platform without losing too much of that, that off-road pedigree.
Experts at Fireball International are using satellite technology to detect wildfires within minutes of them starting. Last year, the technology picked up a fallen power line that sparked a large fire in California. That early warning potentially saved lives.
They issued an evacuation order for Hillsburg. 176,000 people were evacuated and no fatalities.
A program called FireTech Connect is helping these companies and others fast-track their designs to enable them to be more widely used throughout the industry.
They're the types of exciting technologies we think can really make a difference.
It could also utilise groundbreaking aerial firefighting technologies like Halitak's retractable tanks. The company's designs were critical in fighting the Perugian bushfires late last year.
Because the tank expands, we get a really intense drop. So for the fire delivery, it's the most efficient tank on the market.
Danielle DePinto, 7 News.
Queensland Police have created new software so victims of domestic violence can privately report abuse online. Officers say it was developed to help those in isolation who can't call for help because they're locked in with their abuser.
Living in a violent household in isolation can be like living under constant guard. Dr. Anne Butcher says every move is monitored and phone calls are supervised. creating a situation where victims can't call for help.
Well, it's really difficult for women to speak freely if they're in the home with the person who's the perpetrator of that violence.
Queensland Police have now developed a new tool so victims can silently call for help.
If you're in a situation where you're at home and you can't phone the police or get in touch with Police Link, you do have the option now to do an online form through the Queensland Police website.
All you have to do is go to the Queensland Police website, find the Report Domestic Violence tab and request contact with police.
There's an online form that you submit and that gets sent to Queensland Police Service.
Putting an end to domestic violence isn't only up to the victim. Police are also asking family, friends and neighbours to help.
It's important that everybody reports it. It's everybody's business. It is a whole of community problem and that's the only way that we'll ever reduce it.
And if it's ever an emergency situation or you think someone's life is at risk, call 000. Laura Lavelle, 7 News.
Toowoomba locals are preparing to celebrate Anzac Day at home this year, and one couple is putting together a very special tribute. The Milburns will display their vintage military vehicles as a sign of respect for those who used to drive them.
Every year on April 25, Wayne Milburn proudly drives veterans in Toowoomba's Anzac Day parade.
We have been very fortunate to have met some of the most brilliant people ever. Very humble.
And his old military jeeps are fitting transport for the occasion.
In Toowoomba about 20 years, we've supported the Anzac committee here.
He's driven vehicles that were operational in the major wars of the 20th century.
Mainly through World War II, Korea, Vietnam.
This year, that tradition will be broken, but Wayne and his wife Anthea are determined to still pay their respects. They plan to park the vehicles in their front yard at dawn, encouraging passers-by to reflect on the meaning of the day.
Unfortunate the way it's turned out, but we're going to make the most of this and still show our respect.
Anthea is also making wreaths and poppies to add to the display, and she's confident locals will not let the day pass unacknowledged.
It's going to be private, it's everyone's backyard, but I think more and more people are going to celebrate this year compared to other years. It's an Anzac spirit, it's just going to keep going on no matter how we celebrate it.
Lauren Reddy X, 7 News.
And another region urging us to keep the Anzac spirit alive is the Maranoa. Little Jax Whittaker lives in Mitchell and is encouraging his neighbours to pay tribute to fallen soldiers.
My name is Jack. I made this for the soldiers for Anzac Day.
Good on you, Jax. The 5-year-old says he'd love to see his street filled with homemade wreaths, just like his.
Graduates from the University of Southern Queensland have celebrated finishing their degrees online in lieu of formal ceremonies. For a Lockyer Valley mother completing her first degree, a surprise online guest made the occasion one to remember.
Finishing a commerce degree has been a hard and sometimes lonely road for Renee Tregonning.
So it's taken me 7 years, but I'm a single mum, worked full-time and smashed my degree out.
She gets up early and then she studies before me and my brother wake up.
Yeah, she's the first person of my nan's kids to ever go through uni and graduate.
But COVID-19 robbed her of her graduation celebration.
It was pretty gutting. But, it is what it is, and as long as I've got the piece of paper, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
But her workmates were determined to mark the moment in time.
I got woken up at 6:30 this morning to a knock at the front door, which was my boss standing in a tux with a cap and gown.
Renee then logged on to a virtual work meeting where the University Chancellor made a surprise appearance.
This is a first for me. I believe it's called Zoom bombing.
John Dornbush named Renee the first official USQ graduate this year.
I hereby admit you, Renee, in absentia, to your Bachelor of Commerce degree.
So I'm happy to see her graduate, and it makes me happy to have her as my mum. I'm proud of her.
And Renee was absolutely chuffed.
It does make it sort of feel like it's actually graduation today instead of just today was the day I was supposed to graduate.
Ashley Whittaker, 7 News.
Hey, Renee, you will never forget this day. We'll take a break in a moment. A Kingaroy home goes up in flames.
And why the local observatory is still tracking space while others can't.
Are you ready for takeoff?
Yes, baby.
When you're smiling.
Now that's more like it.
When you're smiling. I think I'm going to throw up my lasagna. The whole world smiles with you.
How amazing was that?
Welcome to 2020.
Keep on laughing, keep smiling.
This is what the world has been waiting for.
You're smiling, the whole world smiles.
Get ready. We're celebrating the extraordinary.
That is how you do it.
Brand new Britain's Got Talent. Tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Come on, everyone! In the front!
Donate some of your data to kids who need it most and power their potential.
Grab all of your computer and tech essentials at Choice Main, with our team taking care to make sure we're all safe. Get what you need to work or study at home with the right computers, printers and networking gear. Stay connected with family and friends with the latest phones, tablets and accessories. Get it now with no deposit, 50 months interest free. Visit us in store or online. We have click and collect, home delivery or call us anytime. At Choice Main, it's locals helping locals. See you in store or shop online today.
Find a girl, treat her right, stay away, laugh on
The world has changed as we all know it. We can't do the things we love, with the people we love, in the places we love. So until we can all get back out on the road, please stay in and stay safe.
Day, night, day, night. What is this sorcery? A machine that can turn day into night? Madness.
Whiskers, feed their curiosity.
Bring all your renovation ideas to life with Renovare. Extensions, kitchens, bathrooms and outdoor. Visit Renovare Toowoomba at 138 Harry Street or at renovare.com.au.
Hello. New rules. New house.
Mates.
Tasty, affordable and delicious. What's for dinner in the next break with Coles?
Toowoomba turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be a part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for watching 7 News. Our Kingaroy home has been destroyed by fire. Authorities were called to the Logan Road property at 3:30 yesterday afternoon and found the house engulfed in flames. It took crews about 25 minutes to bring the blaze under control. Firefighters are now working to determine how it started. The living room and the concrete slab are the focus of the investigation.
Astronomers at USQ's observatory are busier and more important than ever. The pandemic has forced the closure of space research facilities all over the globe. But our local scientists say their lenses are staying wide open.
Through the COVID chaos, Mount Kent's mission is crystal clear.
Around the world, all of the big observatories, all of the major research facilities have been shut because people can't gather in one place.
And all eyes are turning to Toowoomba researchers.
Suddenly, we're in the box seat. And the reason that we can do that when everywhere else is shut down is because this is a robotic facility.
The telescopes can be accessed and controlled remotely, unlike others across the world. Only one person is needed at the facility at any one time. Jonty describes it as the babysitting shift.
Because we're now the only observatory in the Southern Hemisphere that's open and still able to do these kind of observations. So we've suddenly become a lot more important in that kind of journey of discovery.
Tracking planets and the April Lyrid meteor shower is now a little lonelier, but new stars could be born from old data. Astronomers without access to Mount Kent now have time to rediscover the archives.
People have gone into that archival data in more depth and said, wow, you know, we've actually found this really cool thing. And we probably wouldn't have had time to if we'd been doing our regular day work.
Ashley Whittaker, 7 News.
Two Queensland psychologists are working to answer a question that has plagued us all during the COVID-19 crisis. Why do people panic buy? The university researchers have launched an online survey to get to the bottom of why toilet paper was so important.
Vision of Australians pushing and shoving their way down supermarket aisles stunned the world. It was a feeding frenzy.
Social media, everyone seeing one person do it, everyone thinks, oh, we've got to do it too.
USC researchers want to know what triggered this reaction and who is prone to hoarding.
Is it people who maybe live really far from the supermarket or who consider themselves at very high risk?
Or for some, this pandemic may have triggered intense behaviour.
You may not have an anxiety disorder as such, but you might be a little bit sensitive to that feeling.
USC psychology lecturers have launched an online survey to research the demographic most likely to irrationally fill their trolleys. Dr. Jacob Keach believes it might be the people with the most wealth.
We're also asking questions around, do people stock up more than they can afford to? Maybe people kind of ran up their credit card or something like that.
The psychologists are hoping at least 500 people will complete the survey. The results will be used to create more targeted campaigns to ease community fear and to start rationing groceries earlier.
So that our messaging, our health campaigns and our government campaigns can go in and target those people early on to maybe give them a greater sense of security.
Sophie Tetzlaff, 7 News.
Let's get into the sport now, Nathan. The QRL in no rush to announce a return date, mate?
No, Brough, it follows the New South Wales Rugby League Board today announcing a date that they hope to have community footy back up and running. More on that next. And a boxing coach's unusual invention allowing his athletes to continue sparring.
Hi guys, I'm Darren Purchase. Welcome back to my kitchen. Now all this spending time at home has its advantages and disadvantages. I know for one, my hair is getting really long, but I'm also cooking things I wouldn't normally cook. And I'm loving the opportunity of cooking for my family and spending more time with them. So what's for dinner? Well, tonight I'm going to show you how to make my chicken, leek and pancetta pies. Really simple to make using fresh Aussie ingredients. So let's get started. I've got all of the ingredients for the pie filling here. Now with the pastry, you could of course buy in your own pastry. There are plenty of awesome brands on the supermarket shelves if you don't have the time. Rub the cold butter cubes using your fingertips into the flour in a mixing bowl before adding the water and using your hands, bringing the dough together. Okay, pastry is done. Pop it in the fridge, give it a chill down and a rest, and I'll start on the pie filling. Cook the pancetta over a medium heat until it's golden brown and crispy. Lightly season the chicken pieces with salt and white pepper. Saute the chicken in 2 batches. Add the chopped onion, celery and leeks to the pan. Season with a little salt, the chopped thyme and grate in the garlic cloves using a microplane. Next I'm going to deglaze with the white wine. Sprinkle in the flour, add the chicken stock. Add the bacon and chicken plus the juices and simmer for about 3 minutes before adding the cream, chopped parsley and frozen peas, which I love. Pie filling's ready. Now to put it inside our pie tins. Done. Let's make 4 generous sized pies. Now, before I put the pastry on top, I need to cool these down a little bit, probably for about half an hour in the fridge. While I'm waiting, I'm going to roll out the pastry we made earlier, make a quick egg wash, and I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees. My pie mix has been chilled, and also my pastry has cooled down as well, so now it's just time to lid these pies. Very exciting part. I'm going to brush the top of the pie lids with the egg wash that we made earlier. Now I'll just sprinkle some salt over the top and pop them in the oven. Chicken, leek, pancetta pies. There's no school like the old school. These are a real treat. For more recipes like this, head to coles.com.au. I can't wait any longer. I'm going to dig in. Have a good night.
Welcome back to 7 News. The Queensland Rugby League remains in no rush to announce the return of Community Rugby League, saying it's still too early to make a call on a possible start date due to the coronavirus. It comes after the New South Wales Rugby League Board today established a plan to work towards a restart of their community footy, including shortened senior competitions from July 18. Now, that coincides with the start of their state's Term 3 school year and other winter sports. This decision will be reviewed again on June 1, subject to government advice at that time. Queensland bull riding brothers Clay and Zane Hall were quickly making their mark at rodeos around the country before the coronavirus put a halt on proceedings. The two are currently ranked top 10 in the National Rodeo Association competition, and they're eager to pick up right where they left off.
Bull riding isn't for the faint-hearted.
Me and Clay started when we were young age, sort of went along to the rodeos and started watching first.
But for brothers Clay and Zane Hall, it's in their blood.
I started with my dad and I did rodeos for a lot of years as well. So it was only natural that some of my boys were going to get into it, and Clay and Zane, being the two youngest, decided to take it up.
And they ran with it. Clay has competed in national competitions in the US.
I won the Northwest Region Bull Riding Region title for both years I was there, and then went on to the college national finals, the 2018 and 2019 season.
While Zane is a two-time junior national bull riding champion and high school rodeo world finalist. The 18-year-old is currently ranked 26th in the PBR standings, but still gets a kick out of the competition.
I'm not going to lie to you, there is nerves going through you, but that's the fun about it.
With at least 130 rodeos on their calendar each year, the boys say the COVID-19 enforced break has been good.
There's a lot of time that goes into bull riding. Like, when you have spare time anywhere, you'll either work out or get on the drop barrel and practice.
But they're itching to get back in the saddle.
All weekend we're away, usually with rodeo, so it's been good to spend a bit of time at home, but we're kind of missing it a fair bit now.
Vespina Dickerson, 7 News.
Well, creativity has proved paramount for all sports people as they look to continue training while in lockdown. And a boxing coach may have taken the cake for innovation, though, with a contraption allowing his athletes to spar from afar.
Training methods once considered laughable are now legitimate. From laundry lifting to benchtop breaststroke, the creative juices are in full flow. But nothing quite matches Attila Kovac's latest invention.
You know, you can't have any contacts anymore, so I was thinking of it. Just came to me, yeah.
This boxing glove attached to a pool noodle and broomstick is a social distancing sensation.
It's quicker, a lot quicker than, it just teaches you to move your head.
And with no other option at the moment, it's as close as it gets to real boxing.
You're not close to each other, you know, that's the thing. And you're still facing a boxing glove.
It's different, but it's keeping it sharp.
That's a must for those clutching at the thought of still fighting this year.
If you stop now, it's going to be a lot harder when it all starts back up, so we're just trying to stay fit and stay ready.
Motivation's not hard to find, especially with Attila as coach.
He's good, he's always pushing you to the limit, and it's good to have that voice in the back of your head.
And his dedication is indisputable.
You're thinking all the time, how can you improve? How can you improve the boxing? How can you improve the boxers? That's my job as a head coach.
Connor Rose, 7 News.
Do you get the feeling from watching that story that Attila might have been a totem tennis fan back in the day? Remember that old game? Good fun.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's working well, though. Good job.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dave.
Stay with us. After the break, Livio has all the weather details. We're back soon here on 7.
I knew those flowers weren't for me. I don't get flowers. If I smell flowers, I look around for a coffin.
Brand new Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Hello.
Tonight on 7.
Suncorp has supported Queenslanders for over 100 years. And while you're staying at home, we'll help keep you covered if you're in hardship. Ask about our financial support and relief options. Visit suncorp.com.au. That's the Suncorp spirit.
Payless
less every day at The Good Guys. Get $100 off this LG fridge, 20% off this Westinghouse dishwasher, this Linsar 65-inch TV only $5.95, and 34% off this NutriBullet. Loads more online and in our catalogue, only at The Good Guys.
G'day, Sue. Join me for a walk?
I'd love to, but my legs are aching.
I had the same problem. You need Revitive. It's the circulation booster that gets my leg muscles pumping, which could improve circulation and help relieve aches, pains and swelling. Plus, it's drug-free. It's truth. Someone got Revitive. I'll race you to the cafe. Get Revitive today. It just might change your life.
For Mother's Day, see offers in store or revitive.com.
During this uncertain time, Multicap is continuing to deliver essential disability support services as we have for almost 60 years. Call us or visit multicap.org.au today.
Come on, everyone!
Donate some of your data to kids who need it most and power their potential.
If you're a small business, you've probably got a lot of questions right now, which is why you should speak to a professional accountant who's trained in planning and cash flow management strategies. For further support, contact a professional accountant today.
I love you.
Love you.
The greatest Aussie dramas are all here. Streaming for free on 7+.
I promise you, it's going to be fun.
Billy Connolly's brand new American adventure.
Uncle Sam wants you. All I need is a top hat.
An extraordinary journey through a country of extremes.
I'm showing a bit of decay myself. I love it.
All new Billy Connolly's Great American Trail, Thursday on 7.
Good evening, Livia Regana with tonight's weather. It's been quite a while since Queensland's last good rain event, and the lush new growth's already starting to go yellow in some places with this unseasonably warm weather. Nothing much on the horizon except for a few sprinkles about the wet tropics and no real indication of any cool changes. Top temps hit the 30s today and we're only 2 months away from the shortest day of the year. Nights are finally warming up as well. 16 this morning in Toowoomba. Hardly feels like autumn. Let's look at the satellite loop now. You can see the leading edge of a very weak front that moved through southeast Queensland overnight. See that long skinny arc of cloud that's now sort of merging out to sea and you can barely see it anymore. In its wake, of course, it's still clean, dry air, and in fact the whole state is basically cloud-free today. Just a couple of puffs of cloud around the wet tropics, and even then, showers have been very minimal in the last 24 hours. On today's chart now, a new high has come in to replace the old one. This one's a little bit bigger, but it's still fairly weak. It's pushed in that slight southerly, which brought a slightly cool night, but not as cool as the night before. And you'll see, because quickly the wind went around to the east again today, and so moisture's coming back, and those really cold nights are over. On tomorrow's chart, the high continues on its eastward migration. In fact, it splits into two cells, so the wind is basically onshore, freshening up a bit in the tropics, could even get to 25 knots at times. And then on the outlook chart, the high moves further out to sea again, winds more onshore, nights a little warmer, days exactly the same. And now the latest from the Weather Bureau. The Darling Downs and Granite Belt forecast, a warm, sunny and calm day with Dalby reaching 29 degrees. Gundawindi the same, Toowoomba 25, a little bit cooler, Warwick 10 up to 27. For the southeast coast, fine and mostly sunny with Gatton ranging 13 to 29 degrees, same top for Ipswich and Brisbane 28. Looking ahead for Toowoomba, a slight increase in the odds of rain this weekend, but the chances are very low, so expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. For Warwick, again, don't bargain on any rain, we won't get any. The main trend is higher than average temperatures, so don't count on a cool change anytime soon. And for Dalby, zero chance of anything falling out of the sky until Wednesday, and even then it's only 10%. Top temperatures consistently around 29-30 degrees. And that's tonight's weather in a compact little package. I hope it's the weather you want, because it's the weather you're getting. Let's reconvene right here on this channel, same time tomorrow, and I'll fill you in on any new updates. But for now, it's back to the team.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Thanks for your company. See you tomorrow night.
Of course, you can enjoy a replay of tonight's news over on 7/2 from 6:30. From all of us here, good night.
Good night.
Tonight on 7 News, a bombshell confession from the doctor at the centre of the Ruby Princess disaster.
Another day of 0 new cases in Queensland.